How many times have you heard someone say, "I didn't have time"? I hear it quite a lot, especially being an IB student. A study by CBS News shows that 6 in every 10 people claim they don't have enough time to get everything done on that day. So I can't help but wonder what our daily life would look like if only we had more time. Would we learn more? Sleep more? Take better care of our health? Spend more time with our family? Create new hobbies? Most people would answer yes to all of these questions. But today, I'm here to convince you otherwise. And no, I don't want to talk about how to be less productive or spend less time on your phone, but rather to accentuate the power of not having enough time. Let's first dive into the most common phrase used in today's society. There isn't enough time. Notice that in this sentence, people are always blaming the lack of time for not getting things done. Very rarely someone stops and says, "I didn't manage my time well," or "I didn't allocate it." A study by Harvard Business Review shows that people are naturally wired to blame others when things go wrong. So when we get things done, we praise ourselves for being very productive. But when we don't, we blame the lack of time. Why is that? Let's have a look at how my weekly schedule looks like. Yeah, it's pretty crammed. Now, if my day had 30 hours, this is how it would look like instead. It's better. I could sleep for 2 more hours, only start working at 5, go for a run, and even cook a healthy meal. We all tell ourselves we would lead healthier and happier lives. I conducted a study among the Dubai American Academy high school cohort asking a simple question. What would you do if you had more time? 74% said that they would sleep more, 45% that they would play more sports, 50% admitted that they would be on their phone more often, and 55% that they would be more connected to their family. Now, is this really the case? I don't doubt that if our day had 30 hours, maybe for the first weeks or months, we would really do more of those things, as it would seem like we have extra time to do things we previously couldn't do. But the reality is, in the long run, everything would go back to normal. What makes us think we would do more things is the fact that we perceive it as having additional time. Okay, since the problem isn't solved by giving us more time, why don't we think about the power of not having enough time? Point 1. The shorter the time, the more efficient we are. I think of deadlines as a fire. When the fire is farther away from our house, we don't bother trying to put it out. But as the fire comes closer and eventually reaches our home, we'll do our best to sort it out. Parkinson's law states that our work expands to fill the allocated time we give for its completion. So when we don't have a lot of time, our effort peaks. But the more time we give ourselves to do something, the effort gradually fades, and the longer it'll take for us to finish it. For example, if I give myself 40 hours to do an essay, I'll complete it in 40, even though I technically did not need all of that time. But if I give myself 4 hours, I'll still be able to finish in that short amount of time. A real example of this is our IB extended essay. All of us were given at least 6 months to complete it, but most students actually spent 5 months doing nothing and actually completed it in a week or a month. This shows how, when students knew the EE was due soon, they were able to quickly finish the task. Now, does this mean that someone's EE who was done over 6 months versus a week or a month is the same quality? No, probably not. But we often think the more time we spend doing something, the better the result. While this may be true, the growth is essentially logistic, reaching a carrying capacity. In this case, the carrying capacity would be the number of days you have to spend doing something with the best possible outcome. Essentially, even if I had 3 years or 4 years to write my extended essay, it wouldn't necessarily be better than the one I wrote in 8 months. Point 2. The less time we have, the more we value it. Ask any of your grandparents if they don't see life differently now that they no longer have as much time ahead of themselves. The other day, I was watching a video by Mark Rober, and he asked this group of young adults a simple question. What would you do if I gave you $100 million? Now, what if I gave you $100 million, but you couldn't wake up tomorrow? Would you take it? Everyone answered no. If we all had more time, the value of life would gradually decrease to the point where maybe it would be worth millions of dollars. Obviously, I'm exaggerating here, but the point is, what makes us think that life is worth millions of dollars is the fact that we perceive time as precious. We purposely don't have enough time to get everything done we need to do. One of my favorite books is called Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Though the name of the book can be very deceiving, it's not only about finance, but touches on topics such as happiness, wealth, and most importantly, time. In the business world, the idea that you can use money to gain control of your time is very popular. Essentially, as you gain more responsibilities and experiences, you start thinking about whether the time you're going to spend doing something is worth compared to the money you can pay someone else to do it for you. For example, if 1 hour of your time is worth $300, you'd rather pay someone else $25 to do it for you. Not having control of our time is a universal drag on happiness. Time is undoubtedly valuable, and knowing how to manage it to maximize productivity is essential. I'm sure everyone in this room has wished they had more time. I also have. In 2 weeks, I have my IB exams, and although I feel prepared, I still wish I had more time to revise. But the reality is, even if I did, I would still be unsatisfied. If only we had more time, we would be less efficient, we would value it less, and have worse decision-making skills. Instead of getting frustrated, we should take advantage of the limited time we do have, appreciating the people around us. Thank you.